Tonight is our best attended night in the area of study, because on Tuesday night we have Bible study and home and farm mission alternate, and we have two classes, three really, because there's an adult class, certain age, there's a 49 and under, there's a purity class, there's a sunshine band class, all going on in one night. And then when they're through, we come in for final review or to hear what they have been discussing in theirs. And our church is growing. Our youth and children part of the church is growing because these ladies are taking time to do that, and in the organizational structure that we have. If you'd say, well, okay, have Bible band tonight, come back tomorrow night for home and farm mission, come back the next night for YWCC, and all of that, you will never get it done. But these are great tools to work with. We can bring them all together and make them work. The CWCs, those ladies, they don't meet every month, maybe every other month or so. They would come together. They would have a little refreshment. They'll go through their lesson, the booklet, the YWCC. Beautiful information is in there to help young women. They discuss that, and the CWC can help the YWCC because they have been that age. And with the two groups getting together, the older one can express their wisdom, and the young can express their wisdom, and you got a strong group of women, young and old, not separated, but together. So there's a lot can be done. We do not want to lose the foundational tool that our predecessor has given us. We just have to make an adjustment to utilize them in our church. On our state level, we have, and I encourage this on the local or the district level, to have one unified auxiliary day. Rather than each one having their own day, they all come together, make their presentation, they talk about, discuss, the fellowship, and they get all of that ingredient together, because you got a little bit of the sewing circle, and somebody questioned me, they challenge it. Where in the world you hear about sewing circle this time of day, in this age? Sewing circle has already took on another phase, the artistic fingers. And with the gift that some of our young people have, our women and men have, it could end up into a business of their own. And they say, well, we don't need sewing circle in this day. But I said, people yet making clothing, and we have some great seamstresses in our church. If they can just unite themselves together, alteration, you almost can buy a dress for what you can get one altered for. Can bring revenue, financial revenue, in to your church. It simply means a united force getting together, putting all the knowledge and wisdom together, and this can be done. I hope that we will, and I know you've some brilliant idea. I've traveled and I've seen some things that was done through the sewing circle just on a local base that can end up being a great access to a district or that local church or even that jurisdiction. In our state meeting, we have a display of items, and there's one lady in our church that makes nice hat, or she can change the style of the hats and make it look like a total different hat. Make neckties for men, does alteration, and we have them to come and put it on display. Purchase them. It's a financial support to the person and to the local church. So we have a nice layout during those state time. That is a blessing, and you can do it on a smaller scale on a local level. And I know what I'm saying is a tidbit to what some of you are already doing, but we must make it meaningful to the church. If a pastor see that these auxiliaries are helping their church, bringing in revenue in their church, they wouldn't mind having them operating, because they are really the strength of the church. And I said to the women of God, if we don't do women work, if we don't do women ministry, the time will come that all we will be able to do is go to church, sing, pray, and pay. But these are areas of ministries. And while some of us are yet living as older ones, we need to get close to the younger women, like these women who are presented here today, get their wisdom and let them get some wisdom from us and put it together, and you'll see this church going to the next dimension. And we can help with mission. We can help with a whole lot of things. And don't tell me my pastor won't let me do it. Because you don't ask pastor, can you go down to Dillard's or Macy's? Whatever you want to do, you do it. So by the same token, you can do the same thing. You don't have to even bother your pastor with that. Just get together and come to church and say, Pastor, here's $1,000. You know, we got together as women and we did some of this and that. You think that pastor going to refuse you doing some work in that church if you can bring $1,000 or two? You got to use some wisdom. We can't use all this excuse we're using. And it disturbed my spirit. As old as the Sunshine Band being, to hear somebody say we want to change the name. Why? Just put the ingredients you want in it and make it work. You can do it. Fancy it up. That Mason was a lover of children, and I think he had a lot to do with the organization of the Sunshine Band. Mother Hensley was our first big Sister Sunshine. But everything we did was authorized by the founder of our church. He said, oh, let Dad sleep. No, wake him up. So we'll see some sensible thing that he permitted so that the church could grow. Ladies, let's wake up. Let's put all this other petty stuff aside and let's get together and let us ask God for wisdom, how we can make these things work, what we can do, how we can, but you can't do it except you get on the spirit of unity. And don't care who get the credit, just so we get the work done.